Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today's video, we're going to be using this Mojo Monday sketch. And one of the things I like about a lot of their newer sketches is they do have measurements on them, which make it so much easier. And if you want to adjust, you have a starting point of where to maybe change it up if you want. So we're going to continue to use My Heritage from My Mind's Eye. I like these colors and at the moment I'm having fun using it. They go well with the fall feel, the color scheme of it. Okay, so we're gonna put that to the side. I was moving some of my wires, and I'm using this yellow card for my base, and I'm going to be using some of the Nina 110 on the inside, to give the bottom part where you would do your signing for the recipient a little bit of weight. And as you guys have seen in my last few videos, I suggest that, especially if you're using anything less than the 110 pound for your card base, and you plan on doing a lot of layers, definitely layer up on the inside of the card too, and then that way your card will be even in weight. All right, so our matte piece here, the craft color, is cut to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then our pattern paper is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. And you could ink your edges if you want to. A lot of times I don't, because I let the matte, like your eyes, kind of drawn to it instead of the edge of the pattern paper per se. So I don't always ink my edges, but if you want to, you can. And I always believe you can use colors that match with the paper that you're using. So you could use antique linen if you want more of an antiquing of the pages. They give it a little bit of more of that black color because I am using like the charcoal glitter paper, and then I may use black soot just really lightly. You can always change it up. Okay, so now that we got that on, I'm going to create a banner at the one end, a little flag at the end that's going to go across the middle there. And then we're going to start putting our square pieces or rectangle pieces together for to attach to the card base itself. Now, I am going to give you a little bit of a tip because part of the bottom is actually, well, most of the bottom is covered up because of that strip. I do not worry about making sure that I have a nice even edge around all three corners because it doesn't matter. You're not going to see that bottom corner. So the top part, nice and evenly spaced, and the bottom covered. So I do the same thing with the smaller one. If you want to have a nice even border all the way around, you just want to make sure that you cut your matte pieces an eighth of an inch bigger. So let's say if it's 1 by 3, then your matte would be 1 1/8 by 3 1/8. 3 1/8, I should say. And then it would be even all the way around. When I cut mine, I cut it a little bit short. Um, like I said, because it's going to be covered, so it doesn't have to be perfectly even. Okay, so now that I have the squares kind of laid out exactly where I want it to, I don't want to lose how I have them laid out with each other. So I'm going to lay it back down here so I can make sure I got the tilt and the angle right. And then I'm just going to lift it up a little bit, squeeze some of the wet glue, and press down. So that way I don't lose the position where I had it. Same thing. All right. Now I'm going to use some of the tape runner. And I use the tape runner and wet glue to give me a little bit of time to be able to adjust, move stuff around without ruining the pattern paper that, you know, it's not like you have tons of these sheets, especially in a 6x6 pad. You're kind of, once you cut it up, that's it. unless you're only making the one card, and then you could possibly still have a sheet, inside the pad itself. So once I laid those down, I'm going to hit the glitter paper with some glue and just put it straight down to the paper. And if you want to give it a little height, you can. You can add foam tape. You can add layers of cardstock if you don't want it to be too high. You could do that too. Now for the sentiment, I actually had this cut off camera. I think on the picture it says like 1.5, and I don't have a 1.5 that's just a solid cardstock. So I went to the 2-inch that I got recently, and I punched out a circle for that, and then just stamped birthday wishes right in the center. And I put a little bit of wet glue on that because part of the circle is on top of glitter paper. And though the foam squares is sticky, it needs a little bit of liquid to help really adhere well. Then I'm taking the white Nuvo drops. I'm going to put 3 drops down there at the bottom left and then tap it. And I hit the one so hard it flattened, like you could see the pattern paper. So I just added a little bit more of the enamel dot on top and kind of blended it in, and no one will be the wiser. All right. And then this is the one that I did off camera. I used the back side of that green, almost like a herringbone. It's got the wood grain on the one side. So I did one with the wood grain and one with the green, and I liked how they both came out. All right, so that is our final project. We're going to have some close-ups here. While you're looking at this, I just want to say thank you for joining me today. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button, and definitely leave a comment down below. I love reading them, and I do try and get to everybody's and leave a comment when it's a little bit of a hop, or if it's part of something else. And there's a lot of comments. I tend to just do the like because it's a lot of people to kind of get through, but just know I do read them, and I appreciate you guys so much. And I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you with our next video.